Say that the first generation lawyers really don't have any ladders to climb, but we build our own ladders.
Yeah, and so that was when in some ways it really hit me when you start your own practice, you know. Am I going to be able to make it? Am I going to be able to get my own clients?
So can we say that women need not fear, they can start their own offices and
Absolutely.
work will come by?
And you think, oh my God, I'm a burden, I'm in my mid-20s and I'm still not earning. That kind of, you feel the pinch, and most lawyers face that.
Women are not really in the top front. So what do you think is the other barriers for women to come in the forefront?
And suddenly I'm not going to be seen because I don't have clients. And then, you know, people are going to say, well, she started her own practice and she got no clients.
It's a long way to go.
No?
We're not there. We're not there. It's going to take another 200 years. Let's be realistic. We're all doing well. But we're all doing well because we believe in ourselves.
How difficult it is to be in the forefront of this profession. Let me put it this way.
You know, you now see them, but the traditional thinking that criminal law is not for women or constitutional law is not for women, those were traditional stereotypes.
But there I would have to add, the women lawyers themselves need to change their mentality. For example, if I'm briefed by 97% are men. Barely 3% of the women come to me.
To fight for so many years
we fought the MLAs, 10, 12 years of litigation. I mean, I did it totally pro bono.
Yeah.
I would say this is the first generation women lawyers who have grit, guts and grace. And I think that's a nice title for our podcast. Hello everyone. Today I'm having a very unique conversation with two other like me, first generation women lawyers practicing essentially in many high courts in the country and also in the Honorable Supreme Court. I would say this is the first generation women lawyers who have grit, guts and grace. And I think that's a nice title for our podcast. So we are three women who entered this profession with absolutely no surname power, but just stamina power. The power to show up every time, the power to do the work that came us, and a journey that is unfiltered, unedited and unapologetically real. So we are also designated senior advocates. So for a person who wouldn't know, for a lawyer, a designation means something really honorable and dignified. But for persons who do not know, just let me give a small context what it means. Under Section 16 of our Advocates Act, we have two kinds of advocates. And one is a designated senior advocate. These designation happens basically based on their ability, standing and special knowledge for experience in that field. And we go through a huge what shall I say, assessment to get this designation, but we will talk about it as we go on. Let me just give a small introduction about myself. I'm Anuradha, a first generation lawyer, shaped by struggle, lifted by support and strengthened by years of showing up. Today I'm grateful to be successful, secure and still humble enough to laugh at how far life has taken me. I have entered this profession with great hopes and I feel I have done really very well. And like me, I have two other lovely ladies today, Lakshmi Iyengar and Jaina. So let me start with Lakshmi. Lakshmi, why don't you just speak about yourself and what was your journey? What was your earliest moment you felt that this profession was your calling? What was the hardships you faced and something very nice that your journey has to tell us?
Good evening, Anuradha. Thank you so much for having us. And three of us have always been lunch friends. And it's good that you thought of this idea. I think it's brilliant. My calling, I really wouldn't know when precisely, but yes, I think from almost near end of school, by the 9th and 10th grade, I had decided I'd either be a journalist or a lawyer. So I did both degrees. I did my BA in journalism and I did my LLB.
Oh, I didn't know this.
Yes.
Okay.
So I wanted to join the Indian Express immediately, and they gave me some segment in cinema, and I wanted to do the political line immediately, which is not possible for a youngster. But I had started my law by then, completed law, and as I started watching how the court proceedings go on, I said, okay, this is it.
Okay. So, like, how are the hurdles or difficulties that you faced? Were there any at all?
I think none of us realized that it's going to be difficult, nor did we, none of us, I think, took it that seriously initially. So we quite liked the way things were, and we liked the fact that every single day was a different day in court because it was a different case. So you read up that case and you went to different courts, you faced different judges. So every day was a different day, and it was really nice.
That was the challenging part.
That was the challenging part, and it was good. So that was a welcome challenge. But I think struggles was, all of us don't earn. None of us earn initially. And you think, oh my God, I'm a burden. I'm in my mid-20s and I'm still not earning. That kind of, you feel the pinch, and most lawyers face that. So I think it's just endurance and it all... Resilience, absolutely. So I think it all starts pouring in, and it's rewarding in the end of it.
So you want to share one happy experience that really comes to the top of your mind in this profession?
I think just watching the youngsters these days, a lot of such talented young girls, it's a sense of personal pride for me. It's as if it's your own standing there. Because when we all enter the profession, we'd all look for those women who are doing well.
Yeah, and there were very few then.
Very few of them. I think for Jaina and I think it was you, Vaishali, all of you that we would look up to, and you were a few years older than both of us. So now when I see the younger generation, I think, oh my God, they're so talented and they know so much. None of us knew what an AIR is, even, when you entered in at that point of time, everything was a learning. But these kids, they know it all when they enter. And it's just absolute pride watching the young ladies these days.
Oh, I hadn't actually thought about this side. That I actually didn't know. I thought you came into the profession fully prepared.
No.
I think you started preparing only halfway through.
It's every day was a learning.
Very happy entry.
It was a great entry. I had absolute adorable seniors. Both of them, unfortunately, no more. They were like father figures, took such good care of me. So I think it's been a lovely experience. So I wouldn't have any complaints through the initial stages.
So now we'll come to the most popular advocates at the bar, Jaina. Jaina, so tell us,
didn't know that.
what was your first calling?
So strangely, I kind of stumbled into law.
Okay.
I had never thought of doing law. Similar to Lakshmi, I actually joined Mount Carmel College to do a BA in journalism.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and I wanted to do journalism and English literature. And so that's the BA program I joined, and I had all these plans of being a war reporter and, really being out there in the field. But then after a couple of months of, joining the journalism program, I kind of felt that it was a bit boring, or, maybe I just didn't like it. And then I was getting restless. And by then, a lot of my college friends had already applied for law. And so then I said, okay, I need to get out and let me see which law college admissions are still available. And so we went around, on a bike to the different law colleges to check out. And I took the admission forms, and then I applied to University Law College, and then I kind of joined. But I kind of really stumbled into law. But from the minute I started at law college, I really just loved the entire course. I did a lot of mooting, so I mooted a lot from the very beginning. And so I think due to my mooting and the competitions and all that, I really liked arguing. And so I think all of that kind of shaped me into thinking that I want to do litigation. And so I finished my 5 years. I did a master's at Oxford in human rights law, and I think throughout my university days I was very involved with social justice movements, and slowly, the ideas shaped in my mind that I want to do litigation for the underprivileged, for people who cannot afford access to justice. So that kind of shaped my my mission, you may say, and that's when I initially started in Delhi. I practiced as a junior to a very well-known senior lawyer doing human rights work in the Supreme Court. Then I came back to Bangalore. I joined big litigation chambers here. And then maybe after about 3 years of all of this, I started my own practice. And so that was when in some ways it really hit me. When you start your own practice, am I going to be able to make it? Am I going to be able to get my own clients? And so I remember, we went looking, I went with my father and my father-in-law looking for an office, and we found an office which we took on rent, which I took on rent. And I asked my dad a question that what if I don't get any clients? What am I going to do? And I'm not going to be seen in court, because till now I've been in with the chambers where I was working, I was in court every day in the High Court, and suddenly I'm not going to be seen because I don't have clients. And then people are going to say, well, she started her own practice and she got no clients. And so my father was totally unbothered, and he's like, yeah, so what if you're not in court? And people ask you, just say you're in Bombay, Delhi, Chennai appearing. That's what all the big seniors do. They're not there all the time. And if you try it out for a year or two, if you don't get clients, go back and join the law firm. Well, how does it matter? So, so that kind of encouragement, that kind of absolute a sense of no doubts absolutely that you would make it. And even if you don't,
it's okay.
It's okay.
You're first generation, so you really have nothing.
So it really.
And he also taught her how to lie.
So there was that kind of complete backing and complete support and complete faith that you shouldn't even think about not making it. So that was a really good push that I got when I started my own practice.
So as you know, like we're all three first generation. Lakshmi, how did you navigate yourself? Of course, you told me you had good seniors. So did I have. Because I don't have any background, no lawyers. And I also was, when I started my office, I was also so worried, how am I going to get clientele? And I only relied upon what work came by me, because I'm a very bad PR. So how did you navigate this first generation? So you thought, I'll just jump in and then...
So when I joined the office of Mr. K.C. Shivasubramaniam, my father in fact did the groundwork to check which is a safe office, all of that. And he took me to his office and I joined his firm, and amazing corporate work. We had a lot of company matters, all of that. But there was a rule that you cannot take your own matters.
Okay.
So he was very clear on that. So I just realized that I was getting in a lot of work. And I had to refuse all of that because I can't go against my seniors' wishes. So after 2 years of learning, I told him that I would like to join Mr. H. Narayan, who was designated by then. So I thought it was a perfect blend of where I would have somebody to guide me, yet I would be able to take my own clients. Whereas my senior was against it. He said, no, stay put, open your own shop after 5-6 years, but don't leave. But I said it's very difficult to keep palming off all the cases I'm already getting to somebody else when I should be earning from them. So that's a call I took, and it was a really good decision because I was able to establish practice. not have to worry about the rents, not have to worry about all the other expenses, because I had the guidance of my senior. And so when he's engaged, I would assist him, but I would also have my own work. So I was able to slowly earn and then transition the day my senior decided, you know what, I'm not going to come to court anymore. All my friends are no more. I don't want to practice. And so he gave me that 6 months that I'm probably going to stop. So that gave me time to start an office. And I went through that same fear. I'm going to start office. I'm going to have these overhead expenses. How am I going to bear all of this? And what if I suddenly don't have clients? All of this was a worry. And just as she said, my parents, my brother, and most importantly, my husband. He just put his foot down and he said, no, we're buying this office. Like, where are we going to repay? And because, you know, we were all dependent on my husband's income entirely when we start our, because we don't earn much. So I said, no, you're just going to do well. And it all just works. So I think we just have that fear. What if it doesn't work? But it all just falls in place.
So can we say that women need not fear? They can start their own offices and
Absolutely.
work will come by.
Work will come by. And we don't reach a saturation point in
this
courts,
profession.
In this profession.
So it's always, every day is a new day to start something.
And even if you have every year 2 lakh more lawyers coming into the profession, it need not worry you in any manner, because
the work is always there. There's
there.
more than enough work for everyone.
Do you think from the clientele point of view, today clients are happy to take women lawyers? What do you think?
See,
I mean,
I
especially
think,
the first generations who do not have a...
No, I think now they're really, clients don't care. I mean, that's what I think to a large extent. When I started, clients were very concerned. I would often see a lot of my early referrals were from family and friends. Clients who would come. So, yes, they do come to you. They came to me through family and friends and references. You talk to them on the phone. Of course, they know you're a woman. But when they would come and see me, they would be shocked that I was such a young woman. So that would really take some time. And some of them would openly say, oh my God, we didn't know you were this young. But it just takes a little bit of time for them to see you at work. And the minute they see that you are doing good work, then I think all the worries or all the concerns go away. And I think now, I think even a lot of younger women lawyers would say that I don't think clients have any such concerns that
it isn't
you're
a barrier,
woman.
but age is an issue.
But age still is.
So I would have clients walking and saying, Lakshmi Iyengar elli.
No.
And I would have
said,
to say, Nane. So then they would be a little apprehensive.
Okay.
And I won't blame them, because if we were all to go to a doctor,
we
would
also,
want
correct.
to go to a young doctor because we're not too sure. But 5 minutes into a discussion, they're really comfortable. So I think it's just that initial stage. But then all of us decided, okay, let's just look a little older. I think we women in this profession, we don't mind looking older. We're the only ones who don't want to look young, because it depends on our work.
Good, that's nice. So can we say that the first generation lawyers really don't have any ladders to climb, but we build our own ladders?
Yeah, you have to, we have heights to reach, but we have to build our own ladders and our own supports and our own stepping stones to get there.
And we make our own escalators.
Yeah.
I don't know about escalating. I hope we'll have those escalators very fast to go. So now that you're on escalator, let me just now go to what I have in my mind, the next. How difficult it is to be in the forefront of this profession. Let me put it this way. Law is more a very artistic profession, and women have that innate artistic skills in them. And law is also a very analytical profession. Like for a appeal and all, it's more analysis of evidence and everything. But still, how do I say? Women are not really in the top front. So what do you think is the other barriers for women to come in the forefront?
See, in the legal profession, and when we talk about counsels and litigators in court, largely what really builds reputation, builds visibility for lawyers, for senior lawyers, is the kind of matters they get to appear in. High stake matters, big representing politicians, big political matters, high stake criminal matters, high stake commercial matters, or even high stake public interest matters, right? Which really give visibility to lawyers. And how do you get these cases? It's not, a lot of it is dictated by your family, your lineage, how your practice is built, which brings in the big work, who refers matters to you,
okay.
What is your network for referring matters to you. So, all of that determines to a large extent how people, especially in the legal profession, as you all would know, how some of these practices are built. And for women, for women and men, if you don't come from, big legal families and you're starting off on your own, of course, it's going to be that initial starting and even getting there is going to be a much slower journey. For women, the journey is harder still, because even if, whether you come from privilege or you don't, I think the stereotypes even in our legal profession are very much there, very strong stereotypes. A, women lawyers do family law work. B, you don't see women lawyers doing, you now see them, but the traditional thinking that criminal law is not for women or constitutional law is not for women. Those were traditional stereotypes that a lot of us faced even at university, right? If it's a big constitutional law matter, we've never seen earlier women within the set of arguing counsels. Now it's building. So those are those stereotypes. And I think, so therefore, if we want to smash many of these stereotypes, it is going to take time. A lot of us have done that. Many other women have done that. Today, we have a lot of very, very well-known criminal counsels who are women, constitutional law counsels who are women. But it's taken many years. And therefore, the amount of the years that it has taken women counsels to build that has been therefore a harder path and therefore a slower path.
So do you think, Lakshmi, in your opinion, we have a long way more to go, or we are there? We are there?
It's a long way to go.
No?
We're not there.
Yeah.
We're not there. It's going to take another 200 years. Let's be realistic. We're all doing well. But we're all doing well because we believe in ourselves. A lot of women are not fortunate enough because we've somehow made it because we've been surrounded by good people. And that's not it for a lot of other women. It's either they don't have the family structure or whatever it is. It's very difficult for women, believe me. And the issue is, how do we get work is what we were asking. Every case that I've gotten is because of my performance in court. So somebody inquires, who is that person who argued that case? Then they find out, they take that number and they come. So how do you build your practice? It's dependent on that work. And as Jenna said, your connections matter in your getting your work. I get my work only because they've seen me in court. But I do not get my work because of the boys' club. For example, a male lawyer will give his case to another friend of his who studied with him, who's in another law firm, or they're all from similar backgrounds where their fathers were judges or their fathers were, held some top positions. So their network itself is very different. So they're in a league very different altogether. And so it's going to be very difficult for whether it's first generation male or female. And if it is a lady, it is all the more difficult, yes. But they're getting there. It's going to take a long while. And the stereotypes, of course, it's always there. The only way to break the barrier is keep fighting. And there are a lot of I keep saying this, for every 3 horrible men, there are 7 good men. Yeah. And women have done well because the men there have recognized it.
Of course, otherwise it's not possible.
It is impossible.
And also, in addition to, working really hard, which a lot of women lawyers are doing and doing well, just hard work is not going to help. The hard work is needed for everyone, but you also need the structures to change. Structurally, our legal profession is very male dominated. I mean, in the sense, it's the kind of the old boys club that you said, how do lawyers brief other lawyers? Who do they go to, For example, commercial large corporate law firms, who do they brief? Are they briefing senior women counsels? We have now so many women senior counsels. Are they briefing them? So what are those briefing patterns? Are they changing their briefing patterns to ensure that, they don't stick to the same old boys?
No, but there I would have to add, the women lawyers themselves need to change their mentality. For example, if I'm briefed by 97% are men.
Yes.
Barely 3% of the women come to me.
Okay.
So are the
no, but women also don't have that much of work.
big work where they
But when they do,
When they do, yes.
Yeah.
See, I'll tell you, I recollect now that when you spoke about women doing more of family work and all, I was very sure that I will not take up family work. I don't know, I mean, not any disrespect to people who take up that work. I was very sure I will only take commercial work.
I agree with that.
I felt that
because you're typecast.
One is a typecast too. I feel, no, I need financial independence. And there is money. See, in those days, we had, I think, 1 or 2 family courts. Today, there's a lot of money in family court, is what I have heard. I mean, no wonder that's why China is so rich. It's so rich. You came at the correct time. But when I was there, there were 1 or 2 family courts, and I was very sure. In fact, I remember seeing Lakshmi in one of the winding up matters. She was waiting down the list. The commercial winding up, one of the few petitions were company winding up petitions. I think it was before Justice Dattu or somebody those days.
Yes.
Is when I remember seeing her. She also had appeared for a company matter, and I was also sitting and appeared for company matters. And luckily, most of my practice has been in commercial field, very, very less. Now I want to come to the next question. It's not the work that you do. Jaina, you have worked in environmental issues, human rights issues. You brought in a new class of awakening, at least in the Karnataka High Court, if I can say, working for, rights of handicap, working for LGBT and things like that. How do you sustain these clients? Or since you worked in a new and a niche field, was it very difficult? Was it easy to get it? How did it work?
Yeah. No, in fact, doing this work was not easy at all because I started doing, I was doing a lot of rights-based work, which is non-paying, along with my regular practice. When I was working, even when I was working in other chambers, I would always want to do the pro bono work, which I would always tell my seniors, I'm doing pro bono work. They were totally fine with it. When I started my own practice, I was able to balance by, even though this work was not paying, it would be subsidized by my regular paying work. So that was fine. But what was very difficult was in court, taking up these issues.
Yeah, that's what I want to talk. How did the court respond to these issues?
It was very tough. So, 15 years ago, taking disability rights work was not easy because, nobody did disability rights work. You were seen as an aberration taking up these cases. I've had judges, tell me, Madam, why do you keep taking up these cases? So I said, what is wrong? This is important work to take up. So now I feel it's really heartening to see. It was very, very tough because I was also, when you say that you don't want to be typecast, there are stereotypes of women taking up family law work. There are also certain stereotypes of people taking up public interest work. And those stereotypes I fought a lot against to dispel because those stereotypes there are very negative stereotypes associated with public interest work of people don't do it seriously, they're not good lawyers, it's seen as soft law, but it's extremely difficult area of work and practice. It's tough, it's constitutional law work, it's special legislation, so it's not at all easy. So it took me a long time to dispel that.
It's not just that, it gets a stepmotherly treatment.
Yes, because courts didn't take it seriously, so you have to be really good at your case and work and push and be persistent, which you don't need in other cases. You have a big commercial matter, the court will often take it up because there are big councils there are big parties. When you have a public interest matter, they're like, okay, who is this for? So it took, now the attitude of the courts is very different. So it took many years to build that, seriousness about public interest work. And for me, since a large part of my work was that, when I applied for senior designation, my concern was that too. Will this be seen as valid to designate me of value of me having done serious work and made a serious contribution for designation, and it did. So I think the courts and especially our High Court has really been supportive, though it was tough in the beginning. I think now we see a totally different view. The court is very interested. They take these matters very seriously, but it's taken a lot of work to get the court and by many lawyers
appreciate this.
Lawyers to take this
I think we can tell proudly, Jaina, that we both did one this lung space park matter, and the park has come out so beautifully. It's called Veera Yodha Park in 4th Block, Koramangala.
And we had to fight for so many years
we fought the MLAs, 10-12 years of litigation. I mean, I did it totally pro bono, but we had to engage seniors when we really wanted at that point of time. But it was, in the end, it was all worth it. Because now it's a beautiful 3 acres park.
You asked both of us.
Yeah, now
we would want to ask you because you haven't given us your view.
I will give.